Jesus wants two things for us. So first, Jesus wants to save us from our sins. And that's pretty obvious. It's even in his name. So his name, Yeshua, literally means God saves. So that's the first thing. He wants salvation for us. Secondly, Jesus wants us to produce results. In other words, we're not just to enjoy the gift of salvation passively and keep it to ourselves. We're meant to take that gift and extend it to others. We're meant to bear fruit. We're meant to do something. And this is what Jesus is communicating to us in today's gospel with the parable of the sower. You know what's interesting is that when it comes to producing fruit, either real fruit like crops or spiritual fruit, the same ingredient is necessary in both those procedures. What is that ingredient? Well, Jesus talks about it in the last line of today's gospel. He says, you will bear fruit through perseverance. Through perseverance. Some translations say through patient endurance. Now, the word perseverance can kind of seem abstract, even though we all know what it means. Here's a couple of other ways of describing perseverance. So perseverance is the virtue of not quitting, of not giving up, of sticking to it. Perseverance is the virtue of sticking to it. You won't find that in the writings of St. Thomas Aquinas, but it means exactly the same thing. So if you're struggling to stick to it, or there's an area in your life where you're struggling to persevere, first and foremost, just know that this is a virtue that is diametrically opposed to our culture. And the reason is because our culture is so used to getting everything now, instantaneously. I remember a comedian talking about how his teenager was complaining about the slow internet speeds in her house, trying to get something done on her phone. And he thought, well, wait a minute, doesn't what you're doing on your phone, doesn't that need to go up like 1,000 miles to some satellite and then come back to your phone? So it needs to go to outer space. You can wait a few seconds. This is just the air we breathe nowadays. It's like we're conditioned not to persevere. We're conditioned not to stick with it. But as any farmer will tell you, you cannot rush a good thing. So ask yourself the question, what in my life today needs the virtue of perseverance, needs the virtue of sticking with it, the virtue of not quitting? And ask the Lord, who is the giver of all good gifts and all good things, for the strength to persevere.